This administration does not care about the children of this country. The Supreme Court ruling today is going to affect children with disabilities and our most vulnerable student populations the most. The 6-3 ruling by the Supreme Court, among ideological lines, conservative versus liberal, is going to allow this administration to continue to dismantle the Department of Education. Up to 1,400 people are going to lose their jobs. What does the Department of Education do? Well, that's a great question. They're the ones that are there on the federal level to make sure that children with IEPs and 504 plans, children with learning difficulties or disabilities, have the supports they need, have the teachers they need to make sure that the counties or schools or cities are following the letter of the law to make sure that every student has access to a fair and equitable education. These children are going to start losing their services. And we also take care of our Title I schools in high poverty areas. They're also going to lose valuable resources to make sure that they have the supports that they need. I don't know, maybe just to survive and have a shot in life. This administration does not care for our nation's children unless they are wealthy and just like them.
And just when we
What is up, YouTube? My name is Happiness and welcome to my channel. So eventually, yes, it seems like the Supreme Court just allowed Donald Trump so that he can gut the Department of Education. So I asked ChatGPT in terms of who would suffer in terms of this on him gutting the Department of Education. So when I check it over here, it says that essentially the people mostly affected would be public school, essentially in low-income areas, could lose federal funding or support. Students with disability or from marginalized community might see fewer protections since the department plays a big role in enforcing several rights in schools. Teachers could face more pressure for changes in standard testing or funding switch. Parents and students might get more access to private school vouchers or chartered schools depending on how policies change, but that would also depend heavily on the state participation. So overall, it would shift power away from Washington and give states and local districts more power, which could either help or hurt depending on depending on where you live and what your school system looks like. So yeah, eventually it seems like maybe if you are in a rural area and normally let's say you're in a red state. So the people who are going to suffer is these schools to which are in these type of areas. But me, I can't explain it that much. You see, I was just asking ChatGPT in terms of what it sees about this. But let's see what people have to say about this, because they are the ones to which can give us the lowdown on what and who is going to be affected.
thought it couldn't get any worse, today the Supreme Court clears the way for the dismantling of the Education Department. This dismantling process allows for the firing of thousands of Department of Education workers. Even those who were brought back during the last wave of firings, they can now be refired. Though the High Court's 3 liberal judges opposed this move, it still went through. So this is another victory for the Trump administration, which means heavy losses for the United States citizens. According to Justice Sonia Sotomayor, she said that the majority handed Trump the power to repeal laws passed by Congress by firing all those necessary to carry them out. She then went further to say the majority is either willfully blind to the implications of his ruling or just simply naive. But either way, the threat to our Constitution separating the power is great. Our schools are at risk, people. We are now entering a whole new day. And for those who thought that this would not affect them, it is. It's here. The Department of Education is being gutted by President Trump and Linda McMahon. Is that some wild shit or what? Stay tuned.
Well, breaking news as of 5 minutes ago is 4:33 Eastern Time on July 14th. They're letting Trump dismantle the Department of Education. You know, everybody was warned. We've all been warned. We were warned thoroughly and completely, and we still let this happen as a country. If you needed a clearer picture of exactly what this government values, I cannot think of anything better than this right here. Mind you, this is the pro-life party, the pro-family party, the party that has made their entire fucking slogan, "Make America Great Again." As an educator, I have to ask, what part of dismantling the Department of Education makes this country better? I'll fucking wait, and I'm gonna be waiting for a long time, but do your best. Tell me in the comments, what is it that you think is gonna make this better? This is a huge win for all the Christian nationalists who want to redirect funds to their Christian schools so that they can continue to teach absolute nonsense to these students, that they can continue to drive division in this country because they love to point fingers at people on the left and say, you guys are just arguing and driving division. No. The difference is we think your ideologies are harmful. You think we are sinners and deserve death. We are not the same. Now, I know that some of y'all immediately hop in and say, well, it's just returning power over education to the states. Fine and dandy for California, for New York, for Illinois, for states that have a lot of money. Great. What about Alabama? What about Mississippi? What about New Mexico? What about these states that don't have that kind of resource? Do their kids not matter? Do those lives not matter to you? And frustratingly, of course, these are places that overwhelmingly voted for this, right? And I have to work very hard to not pin blame on them and point fingers and say, haha, I told you so, because that doesn't help anything. And more importantly, it erases the people in those states that didn't vote for this, that tried their best to make sure this didn't happen, and they failed anyways, because ideology is some strong shit, y'all. Like, my home state of Tennessee is going to suffer. It is going to suffer. The private schools, the charter schools in Nashville, Knoxville, Memphis, maybe even Chattanooga, they'll be fine. It's the rural schools. It's Polk County High School. It's Cocke County High School. It's these smaller rural school. Copper Basin is another one I can think of, just in my area alone of East Tennessee. Not to speak for Middle Tennessee or West Tennessee. Like, these are the folks that are going to suffer. And it is the saddest thing to me that we as a country have repackaged ignorance, blind devotion, and anti-intellectualism into the new American ideal of what intelligence is. Intelligence is now measured by how well you toe the line of the party in power. And that's heartbreaking to me. It should scare everybody, and it should piss you the hell off. I hope we as a country really enjoy the spoils of this, where we get to watch unchecked power and supreme wealth lord over all of us when we can't afford to eat, and lose an entire generation of young people to another senseless war, or several. I don't know how much longer I can do this, folks. I really don't. But as I've said before, and I'll say again, you can't kill me that easy. It's time for all of us to step into this cockroach energy of, you can try and squash us, but we're going to keep coming back. We're going to keep coming back fighting. Vote like your life depends on it, because it does. Talk to your communities. Get out there and do something about this. I'm going to keep doing the good work that I do at my university every single day, my public research university.
Okay guys, there you go. It seems like as he says that only the red states are gonna suffer. Like it seems like the Republicans are shooting themselves in the foot, whereby I don't know, maybe the people to which they I don't believe that the normal people voted for this, but eventually, whatever happens in government, I mean, like they see like it was sort of like cutting waste, fraud, and how they always mention it like that. But you know what? You can comment on your thoughts on them cutting the Department of Education. But despite that, guys, thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe, and let's meet up to the next video, and peace out.